the Excitable Gentleman, a podcast we talk about. Blah, 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 blah.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's really hot. What is it, like 101? Ish?
I think the high today was actually like 96.
Oh, that's it.
But the heat index is 102.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Truly.
Oh.
Anyway, this is the Excitable Gentleman. Since I've murmured.
You know what it is. You've heard. This is episode like 41, I think.
I'm Mummered and Sons, and I murmured. Hey, I'm Brandon.
I'm Denard. Been drinking it. I did not know they have almond milk Frappuccino now, so I can drink Frappuccinos and get some energy and
Really?
not be lactose intolerant and die. So, yeah.
I'm lactose intolerant, not like dramatically. Meaning, like, if I want ranch or some shit, that it's going to be an incident the next day or within hours. But it's not, I got to earn it sometimes.
Yeah.
I like my macaroni and cheese quite a bit.
I can't do the energy drinks anymore, and I was like, let me go back and try this coffee again.
You should drink that.
CVS.
You should drink that tea.
I still have it, but I'll leave that at work. Or,
No, fair enough.
Or, yeah, work emergencies. Yeah.
Anyway.
Podcast shit.
Indubitably. Anyway, in terms of a plan, air quotes plan, we do have some delightfully both challenging and random questions to answer, which we'll do at the end in order to trick you into listening to everything that precedes it. Other than that, you attended a local event.
I did. I went to the Arkansas Comic Con today, and I'll be going back tomorrow.
And it was a real to-do.
Yes, it was. It was. Of course, you gotta do what you always do. You gotta pre-screen your ticket, buy it early. Never wait in line. It takes for fucking ever.
Yeah, they sold out of single day tickets.
Yeah.
As of this morning.
No, they sold out of single day yesterday. They sold out of Saturday single days.
Oh, that's what.
They still had a Sunday, and I think they sold out of all the Sundays. I think as of this morning.
Oh shit.
But I heard that I heard you can still actually get. They're still letting people in. Like, it's not like it's completely sold out. You can't get into the venue. But when I was leaving, it's at the State House Convention Center. The line to get in was all the way outside to the street.
That door is in the bowels of that place too.
Yeah,
escalators and everything.
Yeah, it's going up the escalator, back out to the street, and then curved around twice.
No shit.
So yeah, like it was.
That is not. It's not like a 3 feet from the door we go outside and that's the line. Yeah. That's a legitimately long line.
Yeah, like I want to say that when I was there was a minimum probably about 3,000 to 4,000 people. Like, it was packed.
And although, although that is a convention center, it is fairly sizable, that's still a lot of people packed in a relative to that amount of people.
Well, you gotta remember
small room.
You gotta remember that area down there, all those walls are movable. So, like, that's actually, like, it's not in the same footprint. It's in the same area, but it's bigger than what it was last year.
So
yeah,
I got
every year it seems like they've expanded it more and more, and this is the third year I've gone. I was overwhelmed today. Not because it was just a ton of stuff to do, because it was so many fucking people. I was just like, oh, Jesus, I wore the wrong shoes. I was like, I didn't have enough. I didn't get enough water.
And also, by the way, like, and this is not a denigration, because I certainly have it, hence the title of Excitable Gentleman anyway, but don't underestimate, like, excited nerd energy.
Oh, no.
And then multiply that times thousands.
So, like, I went to go see, the main reason I wanted to go was to go see Kevin Conroy and Ric Flair. Ric Flair didn't show up, which, I mean, it's not a big deal. He's notorious for skipping conventions. This is actually the 16th convention in Arkansas, I think in the last 4 or 5 years, that he has missed.
Really?
Yeah, like, it's a common occurrence. It's one of those things where you get Rick and you don't know till, like, the morning of.
So he's the Morrissey of Comic-Con.
Yeah. Like, you just don't know. It's like, he comes into town, like, 20 minutes before showtime.
Oh, yeah, no, it's gotten to the point where, like, oh, Rick says he's coming? Oh, cool. Oh, Richard Flair? That'd be cool. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool. Like, canceled. Oh, bummer. That's like the friend you have when you invite to a party. They always say they're coming, and then it's like, that'd be cool. Yeah. And they don't like, oh, bummer, Richard.
Which is crazy because when they made the announcement he wasn't going to be coming, literally, that's the reason why like most people are actually showing up to this thing, and
that's how they're getting a lot of residual, quote unquote, tourists that don't go to these things normally.
yeah,
Because this year, to put it in context, for non-Arkansans, they really swung big. Kind of in general for us, but especially what in previous years were. You know, like it was Eddie Hudson. That's not even his name. Fuck me.
Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson. Yeah. I apologize. Even as I said, I'm like, no.
Well, it just depends on who you're thinking of, though, because like.
But Nichelle Nichols was there year prior to that.
Yeah.
A couple years prior to that.
No, that was. Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
That's the one I went to.
Yeah, Nichelle Nichols and God, who else was there? I can't remember because there was a bunch. Like every year, they always get like some big names, but
they really went for it this year.
I think it was the fact that like last year was the year that they had it where there was a ton of kids that finally came out, and like there have been more parents that are out there who was like, oh, this is what it is now. Because like I was actually in line with a guy that he's been going to the San Diego Comic Cons, but he has 4 kids, and he's like, I don't want to take them to San Diego, 4 kids with 20,000 fucking people. He's like, but we heard about this one, and it's like it's a little bit smaller, but there's a bunch of people they want to see. Like typically they have a lot of voice actors here for like animes and cartoons and stuff, so a lot of kids want to go and meet them.
And cosplayers, people that they can get, that aren't necessarily marquees or well known. You know what they've done, but not necessarily the people themselves. And so you can spread your budget out more to get more people. But with getting Kevin Conroy, that's the name more or less outside of like Mark Hamill, right?
Well, for Batman people, yeah.
Okay.
Because like Kevin Conroy's done more than Batman, but people don't know Kevin Conroy for more than Batman.
Okay.
But like it's like I said, it's one of those things where you don't have to worry about kids really getting lost. It's big enough where you can actually go see a ton of people. You can see some people you want to see, but it's small enough where it's like, okay, the kids can go and take pictures with the cosplayers. Like, and that's the other thing is it's not such a small place where like you're gonna be done in 20 minutes, but it's big enough where people actually get dressed up and they want you to like go and interact. Because that's the thing, everybody keeps forgetting, like nerds are very friendly. So this is one of those things where when you see nerds actually showing up and showing out, they want you to talk to them. Like they want you to stop and take pictures. They want you to stop and like interact because they do this just so they can like kind of show up and like, hey, this is what I do. What about you? What are you into? So like he was just excited because I even told him like, hey man, just stop and ask some of the people that are dressed up if they mind taking pictures with you guys.
That's truly why they're there. They love it.
And their kids like lit up because I just told them like, well, yeah, I know that guy over there. There's an Arkansas cosplay group that I'm with on Facebook that I just follow. Yeah. And all of them actually, I think there were like 6 or 7 of them that came out. And one of the guys who was there, he was dressed up as Reaper from Overwatch. And one of the girls loves Overwatch. So I was just like, yeah, that dude right over there, he'll take a picture with you in a heartbeat. I waved him down. She ran over there, took the picture, was like so happy. And the guy was like, man, I didn't think it was going to be that cool here. It's like, yeah, it's just pretty easy going. Yeah. So it's a lot for like I said, you get to be friendly and everything else, but it's so many people that are just waiting on like to see this one person. Like Jason David Frank, which is the Green Ranger. Yeah. I already saw him
and last White year. Ranger.
He's all the fucking Rangers. Like, literally, with the last.
Dude, he did it. I mean, from what I understand, his career is very steeped in going to these conventions, and there is a desire for him. There's a want. I mean, he was here 15 years ago for an opening of Family Video, I remember.
Well, like...
He's on the circuit.
I was like, when you think about parent, kind of like LeBron's the face of the NBA, Jason David Frank is the face of Power Rangers.
Yeah,
like, he's literally been a Power Ranger since like 1991, and he still does like Power Ranger TV shows every like few years. So it's like, he's the face of it at this point. Yeah, so everybody's going to come out whenever he comes. Now, mind you, I already saw him, got my shit autographed last year, so I was like, fuck that line.
Was there a good line for him?
Yeah. Last year, mind you, he was the one that everybody was coming for last year. So this year, it was his line, Sean, who's the old boy from the Goonies?
Oh, yeah, Sean Astin.
Yeah, Sean Astin. I never actually watched all the Goonies. the Asian kid. I can never remember his name in the movie. The one that had all the inventions.
Yeah.
His line was extremely long, and the guy that voices Deku from My Hero Academia.
Here are some of the people from the con, from the website. They include, but are not limited to, Kel Mitchell, Keenan and Kel. He's the one not in SNL.
Mick Foley. His
Tamar.
line was very long. I didn't even try to go.
I don't doubt that. He seems like a cool dude too, actually.
He was.
Kevin Sorbo, who's batshit crazy, right-wing Christian guy. Michael Bean. Sean Astin. You got Junius Suetamo, who is the current Chewbacca.
Yeah. Which, I don't care about Star Wars, so what to do.
He's tall. Denise Crosby, who was on Star Trek. Kevin Conroy, who was the voice of that.
Yeah, I might try to go back and get a autograph from Justin Brenner. That's the guy that voices Deku from My Hero Academia. But outside of that, when I go back tomorrow, it's mostly going to be us, like, just kind of just kind of breezing through, seeing some stuff. That's it.
To be honest with you, for me, the one that stands out, or the person who I would just... Sean Astin's cool. I like him. But Michael Biehn, honestly...
Yeah.
I love so many of the movies he did. And also, he just... Not only do I love the movies, The Rock and... Well, Aliens especially. But that stood out is that also, he's really good in them. And Terminator. But he's really good in the movies. He has a lot of charisma. Also, The Abyss, which I love so much. But
see, that's the thing, like...
He's also got a delightful, kind of weird... Johnny Ringo, by the way, Tombstone, also. But he has a weird energy about him that I imagine he'd be memorable.
See, he's
got a little Nick Cage energy to him. In interviews I've heard.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, but it's... Like I said, there's enough there where there's something for everybody. So if you want to go and, see the dude from the Goonies, you can go see that. If there's video game tournaments, which is surprisingly, they had a few there, and then they had one that was actually for helping the scholarships. So I was kind of amazed at that. They had a couple of esports teams that were up and coming, trying to start up there. It's kind of crazy how much stuff they actually had going on at the time.
Yeah, I bet part of it too is that they've had a lot of quantifiable, palpable growth from year to year, and a lot of retention of previous people, and probably people coming in from Memphis and the outlying areas, where they really took a swing this year.
Well, then everybody keeps forgetting, we mentioned it before, Marvel movies made everybody comic book fans. True. They just didn't realize it. So now it's getting to the point where, the funny thing was, they still think of the fact that I was getting out of the car and I was going over to the convention, and one of the guys was talking about I was heading the wrong way, and the dude was like, "No, man, he's going to the convention." And yeah, when I turned around, I was like, "Yeah, dude." It was like, "See the shirt? Mind you, I'm wearing a gun shirt at this point." But I was like, "Yeah, dude." It's I'm probably the biggest nerd out of all of y'all. And it was like, "Oh, all right, my bad." Man. And it's just one of those things where it's everybody's there is a nerd in some way. You just don't know how it is, and it's just there's something for everybody there. So if you just want to go play some video games, they got a whole bunch of video game stuff. They actually had 3D printing booth where it was different weapons, different armor that you can get customized if you wanted it.
Here's a question I have for you.
Yeah.
And I know you've had some stuff done. If you get any weapon from a movie 3D printed, what would it be? I know that's a tough on-the-spot question, but I'm curious. I like stuff like this.
So, there's one that, not necessarily 3D, if I can get it 3D printed.
It's a thing, no, by the way, size-wise, just a weapon. It doesn't have to be a certain size, I don't give a shit, but...
Just a weapon? Actually, I think I know exactly what it probably would be. I would either want the, and this is just for pretty much the comic book nerds, so nobody's gonna know what the fuck this is, it just looks stupid, but the Ultimate Nullifier from the Fantastic Four, or...
The most recent Fantastic Four movie, the one that's so good? With Chet Hayes, a.k.a. Tom Hanks' son?
No, like I said...
not
like
that?
I said, comic book nerds.
Yeah,
I said this is real nerd shit. And... Honestly, it's not even 3D printed, but I can go get one now. But Zarya's Graviton, Graviton cannon from Overwatch. Actually, there's a guy that made one that has a real. It's a laser that comes out of it that actually works. If they could 3D print me one of those bitches, that'd be the greatest thing ever. I'll keep it in the car. I'll walk around with it all day. But
I vastly underestimated how much you love. Is it Borderlands? Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Okay.
Yeah. Man, damn, Borderlands. See, that's the only thing. Borderlands, there's like a million fucking guns.
Well, that's what's cool about it, right? They have so many diverse, interesting weapons.
Yes. What's the new one? They have guns that when you throw them, they just like grow legs and start shooting at people, and that's like the funniest thing about playing. I love it.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah,
that singularly might sell me that game.
I'm still debating on whether to buy. They're re-upping the $250 version in October, but I want to play it day one, so I don't know whether or not to wait till October to get the $250 limited edition one, or just go ahead and get the $100 special.
It's very tempting.
So yeah, but yeah, like I said, probably those two. Yeah, but like I said, they had a 3D printing booth, which they actually had a Stormbreaker from Endgame, and it was damn near true to scale, at least like movie wise. I was quite impressed by it. Selling it for I think like $200, but yeah, pretty cool. What about you?
Well, I know I already brought it up. I want to make sure I get the nomenclature right, but the weapon from the Zorg laboratory.
Yeah.
That they use, to in payment
from the fifth element
to get the fifth element.
Yeah.
They do all the different things. They have the nets, the freezer, as he said, whenever he did the rocket launcher, my favorite.
I can't remember. I think Adam Savage actually has the prop for that.
I know, I saw that.
Oh yeah, I was like, I saw that somewhere.
That would be pretty cool. Honestly, for whatever reason it's standing out, I hated the movie, but actually they have, they have it in the new version. The Judge Dredd weapon from the latest Dredd.
Yeah, this Dredd was like the best one to me.
I'm meaning the new one versus the Stallone.
Yeah.
And the new one is fantastic. I love that movie.
And I love
the gun is badass. Carl Urban was great.
I said that all the effects were great, but I love the way they did the Peacemaker, because it was just, it actually did it like in the comic books, and I like the fact that it was pretty much like, it needed to be kind of like that hardcore Dredd, but I just like the design of the gun. Actually, I think they had a 3D printed version of that at the table.
I don't doubt it. That is one that I'd be very tempted.
Because they had that. They had the Noisy Cricket from Men in Black. They had, who was it? Oh, I can never remember. I guess it was actually the Winchester pistol from like Supernatural. They had 3D printed.
No shit.
So yeah, like they probably I think they actually had that on the table.
That wouldn't surprise me. But what I like especially about that movie, that also to a movie you love, is like The Raid. It's that thing of it's like a video game. You have to fight your ass up the levels to get to the big boss.
Yeah.
And I love that that structure in a movie so much. And to me, it's just so fun because it's just this lingering specter, the showdown, and intermittently they're showing cuts of how evil that person is to really get the third act kind of tension and drama up there. But I guess because it's just a nostalgia thing too with video games, how every form of a fighter game at that time was all you work your ass off to get to the big baddie.
Yeah.
And I love that so much.
I kind of miss that. Nowadays it's not really like that anymore. But,
well, yeah, because everything's all got to be like, there's got to be a definitive narrative. You got to have stakes, which is kind of ironic because like they're trying to find it, like, and they always miss 99% of the time.
Well, no, they changed it. They've gotten rid of the narrative.
Like, really? It's come around again?
No, like that was the thing. Back in the day, it used to just be, we fight, let's go.
Yes.
And then they started kind of having a story. Now it's, instead of actually having a story, it's we start part of a story and then it's just over with. Like, essentially, it's like we got started on the script and they were like, "Fuck this!" They were going to pay $60 to just play the game.
I was just saying, it's enough to get your money.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
So, but it's when you're paying so much for a game, though, that's where it gets like. But yeah, like I said, pretty much there's a little bit of everything to do there. I'll be going back tomorrow, not wearing these Jordans because they're very uncomfortable. But yeah, me, the wife, and my dad are going to be going out there. So yeah, it should be some more fun. I'll probably post a couple of pictures so I can get some more up there. But yeah, had a fun time.
That's all. It's all I can ask for at this point. I mean, it was worth your time, worth your money. You're gonna go back. That sounds fun.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me something actually about the convention. Actually, I won a raffle, but I wasn't there, so I didn't get it.
Oh, motherfucker. What was the...
I don't know. It was some shit from GameStop.
Oh, okay.
It was like a swag bag or some shit.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, no big deal.
Free shit is
Something
fun.
I can't get for like $5.
Free shit is fun, but the anxiety of being there and surrounded by people is probably... I don't know. I would indirectly pay to not do that.
I just didn't feel like being online anymore. I think if I had some better, like I said, I think if I had like something more comfortable on today, I would have been fine. But having to stand in line, that's the main thing. I wish I had robot legs, man. I wouldn't even care at this point. I'll be
wish you could just throw the gun that is your body and just form legs and walk around.
I mean, that'd be great. Like
that really makes me excited for that game.
But I forgot what we said we were going to talk about next after that.
There's a little bit of news that's hilarious in its absurdity, but also it's true. You know, Joker came out. Let me rephrase. Joker played Venice Film Festival and came to a lot of fairly mixed fanfare. Certain people, anointed it a masterpiece. Others have said it's that classic thing of it's trying to comment on the culture, but instead it's just directly another part of the problem, contributing to it. Or thinking it's smarter than it is, basically. And a lot of people are talking about it's a dangerous example that's going to be co-opted by incels and people that are quote-unquote misunderstood. I mean, like we said before, it doesn't take anything for that to become the case. Yeah. But apparently it's just it's more on a silver platter than others to be taken that way. Anyway, the point is, the Venice Film Festival is concluding, or has concluded, and they gave out their quote-unquote awards, including the Golden Lion, which is their best picture, and they gave it to Joker. Yeah. Which some people online are displeased about, especially, award season nerds. I'm definitely one of them, but I don't care because I have these slate up of the various films that have won the Golden Lion in the past, and although, first of all, it's not exactly an indicator of Best Picture by any stretch.
I was about to say,
so if you look at the list,
I've seen at least one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
It was total garbage.
What, Shape of Water?
No.
Which one?
The Circle.
Oh yeah.
The Circle was complete garbage.
Yeah. So Joker won this year. Roma last year. That movie is it's a masterpiece, I think. Although they didn't win Best Picture because Green Book won. Then Shape of Water, which was Best Picture, won. But then it's Venice. It's international. They go more art house than anything else, or just art pictures.
Yeah.
Or films that are foreign. Liked The Woman Who Left from Afar, A Pigeon Sat on a Bench Reflecting on Existence, which I actually need to see. Pietà, Faust, Somewhere, which is Sofia Coppola's movie that took place at the Chateau Marmont. And Lebanon, The Wrestler won in 2008. Anyway, Brokeback Mountain won in 2005, which that movie should have won Best Picture. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, it doesn't mean anything. Some people are legitimately displeased about it. I think it is hilarious that it won.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, like I said, I don't give a fuck about awards because 9 times out of 10, they don't give it to the movie that actually it should go to. And then, I hate to say it, but there's very rare that any of these movies that win Sundance or Venice or any or the Cannes that I see, and I'm like, honestly, I'll be honest with you, all the ones that come out and I see them, I'm just like, what was the fucking big deal? They're all Wes Anderson type of movies, all very cerebral, and I'm just like, you just wasted 3 hours of my fucking life. I get the themes and everything else, but you could have cut that shit down by an hour and a fucking half instead of doing this artsy, we're gonna pan out and look at the stars for 20 minutes bullshit. It's like, that's the kind of stuff that pisses me off. So when I see like it won an award, it's
yeah.
like, okay, well, if it won here, that means I'm gonna hate this fucking movie, which I already kind of predicted to begin with all the it's not a comic book movie. I was like, well, then fuck it, I don't give a fuck about it then.
I do think it's hilarious. It is so funny to me that with that movie specifically, that they're like, we're gonna make our movie, and it is going to blatantly be a mixture of Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy, to the point where I think Scorsese still has an executive producer credit on it. Like, it's so blatantly like, we're gonna do that because that's 70s film, baby, and we're gonna do that, but then also we're gonna wink wink gonna cast Robert De Niro, who was in both. We're gonna put him as in the role instead of Rupert Pupkin. He's gonna be the host. So guess what? It's kind of like a passing the torch, but who gives a fuck? So the other thing was that like they do that, but then they're like, it's called the Joker, and he's Jokerish, but guess what? This isn't your mama's. It's not. I know I'm getting annoyed as I'm just going down the rabbit hole in my head. It is a movie they don't want to be associated with comic movies because they want to have their cake and eat it too. We're gonna call it the Joker. Why? Because intellectual property and name recognition, and that's gonna intrigue people.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do gritty 70s on our own terms. And Joaquin Phoenix, by the way, I don't doubt it, and I've said it from day one. I'm like, look, either way, he's gonna be amazing. I think, because he's a great actor. I think a top 10 on the planet. I think.
I don't, but
yeah.
but again, we got whole completely different tastes. So that's explained. But the thing is, though, like you can have the greatest actors in a movie and it's still gonna be garbage. Like just because De Niro and Joaquin Phoenix in it, like I told you before, being shot well means utterly nothing to me if the story is written terribly. Like I said, like that 3 billboards and outside Mississippi thing. Like we've discussed it before. That movie should have not won a single fucking award because story-wise, it had a lot of fucking plot holes. And I was like, well, it was a bad story, so no, you don't win a fucking award. It did because, yeah, it got on the hype train with all the, Me Too and all this other fucking bullshit, but it skipped the one thing that it was highlighting about, which, fuck that movie just like fuck Rainbow. But,
yeah, that's fair.
Like I said, it's just, like I said, the more this comes out, the more they try to put their artsy spin on something, whereas, for me, it's like whenever you go to like a southern, upscale southern place, where there's I hate to say it like this, folks, but honestly true, ran by white people, but they cook soul food, but it's elevated soul food. And it's not collard greens, but it's like mustard greens that are braised with, duck fat, honey reductions. Like, no, bitch, it's not fucking soul food.
In a saffron reduction.
Exactly. It's like, you're not from the culture. You don't know what the fuck soul food is. You keep saying it's elevated. You didn't need to elevate it because it was fine just like it was.
I like the idea that elevation makes it feel like it's a denigration of the thing they want to sell you. Like, it's this, but like good.
No, that's exactly what it is. Like, yes, that's the reason why I said I hate that shit. And this is exactly what this is just for comic books. It's not a comic book movie. Because that's an assumption that it's a comic book. It can't be good.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I like the implied disdain in the thing that they want to make. Of like,
exactly.
I want to do this, but I'm going to use the character. Why are you using the character? Why? Specifically for money.
And that's why I said
it's soulless in that regard.
Yeah, I'm like, then don't make the fucking movie.
And it's very cynical.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to. Then don't call it the fucking Joker. Don't have it associated with Gotham or Batman or anything in any fucking way because the Joker needs Batman. Batman needs Joker. That's the whole point. So it's like, well, if you make a movie about it, you can make something interesting. But the whole thing is, it has to lead up to some point of he meets up with Batman. And if this has nothing to do with any comic book shit, I could give a fuck less because honestly, and here's the thing, comic book movies have a set amount of rules. That's the reason why, like, Marvel movies, they kill off villains. DC movies, usually they just kind of disappear for a little bit and then you never see them again. There are always rules. Either you keep your villain alive or you keep him going. This is one of those things where it's just like they want to work with real world rules, but they're going to try to play it with comic book rules also. It's like you can't do that shit.
Yeah, I just like that months before the movie comes out, they make a point of specifying that in an interview, like unprompted, to like just to qualify the thing beforehand. Which, by the way, is it's such like it's so funny to me because it's like the implication of like, no, this isn't a comic movie. This is art.
Yeah, and that's the thing that pissed me off. That
this is art from the director of War Dogs and Hangover: Part 3.
And it's the and I'll tell you now, I have no problem with that because that is a type of art, but you don't have to shit on other forms of art to make yours elevate, and that's what pisses me off. It's like, oh, because I told you before, I'd rather read the fucking comic than go see the movie. Now, I'm happy when I see it, if it's a good one, but it's like, I'm still gonna go read the comic. Like, I'd rather just do that shit than just waste my time with, like, I'm not gonna go see Black Widow. I've already made up my mind. I can go read Black Widow comics because she's more interesting, but fuck ScarJo. No, fuck that bitch. Plus, yeah,
she's really lining up the problematic statements.
Yeah, she's a garbage human being at this point for me. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not worried about you.
Fiance of Colin Jost.
Who?
Colin Jost is that co-head writer of SNL. He sucks shit.
I was like, yeah, I know nothing of SNL outside of like some basic stuff.
It's a whole Twitter thing. Get in the rabbit hole with me. It's great. Michael Che talks shit to people that are mutuals on Twitter, except he doesn't do it on Twitter. He doesn't have Twitter, so he does it through. He screenshots and then he comments on Instagram stories.
All right, I'm about to follow him on Instagram.
It's a fascinating bit of psychosis of a guy who, when challenged many times to just say that SNL is good and funny, has never said it.
Because SNL is not.
And exactly though, but the fact that it's so funny to watch, and it's so weird because it's like, what a weird like aggressive, passive aggressive response situation. But yeah, anyway, follow.
But
at Jack Allison LOL, it's absolutely worth it.
But the other thing was about that whole Joker thing was, I hate this whole thing where now they're saying that it can possibly start a, I don't know what the fuck incels are. Like,
they're guys that are quote unquote voluntarily celibate because nobody will date them. But they blame women who won't date them. You know, as if like they're not the problem. Women are the problem.
I mean, this isn't going to do anything. Like, that's one of those things where they're going to quantify it. They're going to find some way to quantify it to justify their behavior. So it's like, even if this movie never came out, they'll find some other.
They don't need. A reason.
Yeah, it's like.
But the funny thing is that by everybody publishing all these things that are saying this could become a reason, it's going to propagate it. Possibly becoming a reason.
Yeah, essentially.
It's like, what is it? The Streisand effect. Streisand effect is pointing to something you want no one to see or to do. So then you just talk about don't do that multiple times. Plants a seed, which then perpetuates it. I'll bastardize that definition, but you get it.
I mean, essentially, reverse psychology.
I mean, look, I took 2 psychology classes in college. So that pretty much means I have a degree.
But, I mean, like I said, all they're going to do is just find some other movie or something else attached to it. Like, it's not going to change anything. Well, that's the one thing I do hate about that, is that now this is going to be one of those things where this movie has that tied to it. It's like, it shouldn't have to. It's granted, I'm not going to probably enjoy this movie, but at the same time, I want people to be able to go and enjoy it without... I get tired of this bullshit with everybody has to complain or they have to use it to justify. It's like, motherfucker, it's a movie.
That's exactly. See, and that's
just
the
go
thing.
See it.
Look, I love, in terms of like hobbies, I love watching movies more than any other hobby I have. But I also am like, it's a fucking movie.
Yes, like
it's a movie about a dude who, in this case, eats shit at stand up, is pissed off about it, puts on makeup and starts a revolution, and then dumbasses have signs that say, "We're all Joker."
And the thing is, though, like, if that's the storyline it's going with, then honestly, a Killing Joke is the better version of this whole story. Because that was the whole reason. The whole point of the Killing Joke was it was just one bad day can make anybody's world go upside down and turn you into him. And that was his whole point, was like, let me just give you one terrible ass fucking day to prove that you'll turn out to be just as evil as I am, because that's just how the world is. It's like, I'm a broken person. I can break you too. It's like, that's all it takes, just one real fucked up day. It's like, it was already written. It was already more well done. It's like, they already have that story to hold on to. This one's just going to be like, okay.
And that's why I'm writing my Joker movie. And instead of doing Joker through the prism of Taxi Driver and King Comedy, it's going to be Joker meets Sliding Doors. So we're going to get, what if Joker was evil, but what if he wasn't? And then he's going to have like blonde hair, and then one is going to have brown.
So somebody already beat you to it. It's called Joker, White Knight. You should read it. Very good story. Already got a part 2.
All my great ideas about Joker meeting Sliding Doors, that delightful Gwyneth Paltrow movie we all remember. Oh, piss.
Oh, Sliding Doors is a movie? I thought that was like a...
No, that's a real movie.
I have no idea.
It's a movie where randomly, Gwyneth Paltrow plays an English woman who has, she's like, like, attractive actress is frumpy, and that's like, it qualifies as like, she has personality. And one scenario where she makes the train, Sliding Doors, another she doesn't. And spoiler alert, what?
Is this a rom-com?
Ish, yeah, more or less. So it's like, spoilers, she misses the train, and she doesn't see that her shithead boyfriend is cheating on her. Then she makes the train in the other, and she sees that he is, and then she breaks up, and then her life changes. Yeah. So, and the way that they, show that difference is, one, she has short blonde hair because of it, the other, same old frumpy brown hair.
Yeah. She's cuckoo.
Anyway, yeah. Joker, Sliding Doors. It's coming out in 2021. Simon & Schuster, I'm writing it.
Honestly, that would be a more interesting story than probably this movie's going to be to me.
It's
like a legit, if you had a whole thing where it was like 2 divergent paths.
I would for real read that. I think that'd be really interesting.
Like I said, if they legit made a movie like that, that would be way more interesting and compelling than just essentially the killing joke without Batman.
Okay, well, I'm timestamping this. If anybody fucking steals this brilliant idea, oh man, I'm gonna go Joker on their asses. Anyway, we got some, I'm gonna say reader questions, listener questions. Do you want to go into the Joker specific one first, or save that for last?
I would say that for last.
Okay. Well, bookend it with Joker. Here's our first question from @Carne_me, Chef Nigusto Carne. Yes, he has a question. Why did Kevin Hart leave his friend trapped in a car and call 911 almost 2 hours after the accident happened?
So, Kevin Hart didn't leave anybody because Kevin Hart was in a car accident and he was badly injured.
Okay, okay, fair enough. There are 2 primary routes I feel like we can go with this. 1, go with what we know, and 2, go conspiratorial.
Yeah.
What do we know?
So we know that Kevin Hart had to have essentially back surgery. The only thing I heard
was that he was three spine. He had to have his spine fused.
Okay, I don't keep up with most of this stuff, so it wasn't no big deal. But I just knew he had to go in immediately for surgery. They said that he is in a lot of pain, but it looks like he will recover.
I'm just telling you what he texted me.
But I'm thinking is that he was worse off than the person that was actually in the car.
Yeah, when I saw that about the 2-hour lead time going on, my thought was, first of all, he wasn't driving, which I guess he can't drive. He doesn't have a driver's license.
Did he not drive?
He wasn't driving.
Okay, so I have no idea about anything.
I took it as that he was most likely, he was most injured. But B, he was like, that's the asset. That's the guy.
Well, I mean, like, at any point in time when there's a celebrity and essentially the homeboy, the celebrity's the one that gets
He's at the point where he has handlers, too.
Yeah.
He has, and so that's what I presume.
But, yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's just whoever was actually driving. I guess that's the other person that, they had to pull out.
Yeah.
Either they couldn't get him out the right way, or he wasn't as badly injured. But yeah, like I said, Kevin Hart couldn't call nobody.
Well, yeah, but also though, by the way, to in the scenario of taking both of them away, then you are more legally leaving the scene of a crime, and that's a whole other thing.
I said that, and they wouldn't let that happen. It's Kevin Hart.
No.
He's too
now
big.
the conspiratorial side of me is like, oh, is he fucking cheating again? Because he's not the type. He getting married doesn't mean that you're like, I'm good now, necessarily.
That's true, but
that's a part of where my brain goes.
Yeah.
As somebody who had People magazine in their house growing up in the 90s.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Now that weirdly informed me.
That makes a lot of sense now.
No, that's fair.
No, like I said, conspiracy-wise, I think he was probably on the run from trying to do like some random fucking movie that he did not feel like doing, because I think he's getting tired of the bullshit. But at least I'm hoping, because I would like Kevin Hart to start making entertaining things again, because I'm not entertained by him anymore.
My opinion on Kevin Hart is that he too sucks shit, and I hope he recovers, but I'm not.
I'm just not. I said his old stuff is fine, but I'm just not entertained by the crazy voice followed by like repeating antics over and over again. It's just I prefer a little bit more wit with my comedy nowadays. Either I need a story or I need something else. Kevin Hart just ain't doing it for me. But I wish him well and nothing but a speedy recovery. Hopefully.
Yeah.
You know, all praises to whatever he believes about. Don't matter.
Well, I mean, look, we solved that mystery. So Kevin Hart's finished. The issue, not the answer the question, not him as a person. I don't know. Although if he doesn't shut the fuck up about certain things that he should not be commenting on, then perhaps he will be. Now, another question. This is regarding birds. Okay. The question is, what's your favorite movie bird? Examples of Bing, but not limited to, Birdman, The Crow, Polly the Parrot, etc.
So, I already picked out mine.
Yeah.
One technically would not be a bird, but but birds came from its evolution, so I'm gonna put it in that bitch. Plus, it's my show. I don't give a fuck. I'll pick out whatever the fuck I want to pick out. But Petrie from the Land Before Time.
Oh, that's a great choice.
I love that little bastard. And
what a sad movie. What a beautiful movie.
And then also, which they're still making, by the way. There's one I think just came out.
Are they in double digits?
They've been in double digits. I think now they're like, I want to say they're movie number 20.
No shit. I just wanted to say double digits because it really annoys me.
I remember the last one that I saw was 14, and that was the one that had Cuba Gooding Jr. in it.
Cuba? We got Cuba?
Yes. Cuba Gooding Jr. was in one of the Land Before Times. And
are they going to make a go of it and try to make it like a non-snowy Ice Age?
No. Look, Ice Age stole this from them because they've been doing this for years. Like they've already had Ice Age. They've already had the big water where like Pangea kind of broke up a little bit. And
did they have a squirrel that wanted that nut?
I don't think they have yet. But like I said,
was that Ice Age's innovation?
Probably
a rascally like.
Yeah, that was a little mascot.
Like comedy of errors.
But the thing is, I don't know because, like I said, I stopped at 14 because.
That's impressive.
They come on Cartoon Network. Apparently, they had like a random deal with Cartoon Network, so Cartoon Network show random movies throughout the day, and I just leave it on when I'm doing paperwork.
I just like the idea that they're like, so did they get to the squirrel part? And you're like, no, I stopped at 14.
Yeah.
I'm like, good lord.
Look, Littlefoot found his no good. Littlefoot found his deadbeat dad at some point. Actually, I think that was the last one I saw. It was the one where Littlefoot found his dad.
Did he have like a cigarette attached to his bottom lip and he's wearing a white beater?
I wish.
Sorry, that white beater is not a good phrase anymore. Wearing an undershirt.
We all know what it is.
I'm trying to be nice and sensitive.
Second, but my runner-up would be
Hawkeye.
No, it would be the parrot from Harlem Nights.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at you.
Has a small, maybe on screen for like, technically it's only on screen for like 2 seconds. It's just in the background. But every time Red Fox responds to an insult, he always says something like "fat bitch." It responds in the background, "fat bitch," and I love that bird so much. And that would be me. I want to be the hype man in the background, just yelling out shit.
That's a nice little button. I like that.
So you got yours yet?
I do. It's not a terribly sexy choice, although if you're a bird fanatic, maybe he is sexy. But yeah, I gotta go with Chanticleer from Rockadoodle.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched that so many times when I was a kid. I loved it. Rockadoodle. Yeah. I love that. I love that movie so much. It was so fun.
Dude, I'm mad because I couldn't find it. I was trying to go find that to buy like 2 months ago, and I found like 2 copies of DVDs on eBay, but they were like $200. And I was like, God damn it.
And a part of me thinks chances are that is something somebody copied onto a disc.
Probably so.
And is selling.
Even then, I still want it, but maybe they'll put it out on Blu-ray.
Look, I watched that a lot.
The funny thing is, they used to play it all the time back when there was, they used to do this big hardware store, essentially like Home Depot.
Okay.
Actually, it used to be over where Furniture Row is. And they used to have like this kids' playroom that was their daycare area. They always used to plug and play Rockadoodle.
No shit. I watched that as a kid, and I watched Brave Little Toaster quite a bit too.
Yeah, that movie was kind of dark.
It is,
yeah,
for sure.
No, that was one of those movies that I watched a million times, and I was just like, some of this one's for kids.
Yeah, look, if I had 2 major things that impacted my life in the 90s, it was absolutely Brave Little Toaster and People Magazine.
Let's see.
Third question.
All right.
I clicked away from it because I'm that stupid. Okay. Back to the Joker. The question is... Oh, and my... Hold on. It's loading ever so slowly. That question, my apologies, previously was from @VulgarLasagna, a.k.a. Taylor. Thank you very much for the question. And thank you very much for the question regarding Kevin Hart, an issue that we officially have solved. The third and final question is from @ComradeNoticeMe, which is an excellent name, a.k.a. Gamer Girl Bathwater. The question is, how would a black Joker be different from a white Joker, and who would play him? Now, when they announced that the script had been finished for the upcoming Batman film, because it's a trilogy, we did discuss it on here. Go back to the archives. That we gave out different options. We did give one for the Joker, but not in terms of the implications of the casting.
Yeah.
Now, does that casting in your mind still stand? Or is there somebody else you think? And the choice at the time was Lakeith Stanfield, who truly I think would be incredible.
He is weirdo enough to do it. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else I can think of that.
I also just like him from a physicality standpoint, outside of just ability.
Honestly, I know he probably wouldn't want to be a villain, but him or Donald Glover. I think Donald Glover.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So for me, a black Joker would be different because the circumstances could pretty much be the same, but kind of like what we discussed with the whole what if there was a black Batman? This could kind of be one of the same situations where instead of him having essentially like we were saying, well, I discussed that the guy that originally made that post was saying that Batman's main issue is that the reason why he doesn't trust the cops is because being rich and of course in society and being black, we don't get a lot of help from the cops. So that maybe something happened that his parents were murdered. He knows who did it, but the investigation just closed. So he doesn't trust them. He doesn't work with them and everything else. So this is how he became the vigilante. He still works with Jim Gordon because Gordon was the only one that was like, okay, I'm really trying to solve this case. This could kind of be one of the same situations where, honestly, the way I would write it would be just like in that same scenario, only the Joker was a cop. Instead of having him as a comedian, I would want him to be in that role. That he was a cop, he thought he was doing he thought he was doing the good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like I said before, I don't believe that black people need to work in law enforcement. I believe law enforcement should be eradicated the way that it is now and then reestablished. But that's one of those things where it's like, okay. Well, he got in. He's like, okay, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna be one of the good ones that makes it all better.
Yeah.
And then he realizes that it's terrible, it's corrupt, and then he has that one bad night where, let's say either he got set up, there was an incident where he ended up having to shoot someone, and then instead of getting protected like the white cops do, he got railroaded. And then something should happen, he becomes the Joker, boom, boom. But either way, that would probably be the better. The way that it is now, it wouldn't be believable for me. But I would be interested in seeing a black Joker just because it's one of those things where they already tried the gangster Joker before. I think this one can be played with a little bit more sophistication and cool, kind of like how they did Killmonger.
So we had Gangster Joker, we had Rockstar Joker.
It was a Rockstar Joker.
Leto.
I thought that was a Gangster Joker.
Oh, I thought Gangster Joker was more Nicholson. Because that was a gangster organization, right? That's when you say Gangster Joker, that's where my brain went.
No, I mean gangster like the so-called thug nowadays. Okay. Jared Leto was the gangster Joker though.
Fair enough.
Yeah, which was, I don't know because I fell asleep on Suicide Squad, so I don't even know how he was in it. But
well, you should go back and watch it. It's a fine piece of cinema.
Yeah, all right. But
I thought much is the theme of what I'm saying, in terms of considering things. I think it sucks shit. But that's my opinion.
But yeah, like I think it would work. It just needs some. Oh, it just need to be some tweaking. And I would want this Joker to be played more along the lines of, like I said, Killmonger. Essentially, think of like a crazy ass Killmonger.
Okay.
Instead of being more along the lines of, hey, I got a reason why I'm doing this. It's just, you know what? Fuck it. I'm sick of this shit. Everybody's gonna fucking go, and he just has his fun. Like, I think that would be great, actually. Honestly, I'm mad because everything I'm thinking of is in that Joker comic I told you about, Joker the White Knight. Like, literally, I think if you go and read it, that was probably one of the better things. Because literally, it was Joker was a Joker, Batman was a little bit more aggressive, Joker somehow got cured, and the funny part is, he actually went to the hood. And they called out Batman because it was like, you don't do shit in the fucking hood. You don't come and help us. Like, you keep talking about this area is crime-ridden, but all you do is just destroy the town and go get the Joker and whoever else. But whenever we need help, you're nowhere near around. But the Joker, who got cured, came back into town and was like, hey, I'm sorry. Let me help. Let me fix what I destroyed. And they sided with him. And, like, it was a really compelling story because it's one of those things where it's like, you have to look at it from a different perspective where, from the citizen standpoint, who gives a fuck about the superhero and supervillains? Because at the end of the day, Batman just comes to destroy shit. They still had to go and pick up their lives, after everything is said and done. The Joker might have fucked up, but he came back to help. He came back and actually did something, whereas Batman just sits on his perch and then comes back later on. So this could be the same way.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's like he got out of the hood, he came back, was like, hey, I know I destroyed and did everything else, but I'm coming to repay my penance. And then they're like, we don't trust Batman. Yeah. Eventually things go kind of left, but like I said, it's a very compelling story.
I just came up with a third possible option. It just occurred to me. Somebody who has played a villain, or was a villain, not necessarily like the villain, but was villainous in a movie called Widows. And then Daniel Kaluuya. I think he could be really, really good. Now the question is like, would he be as convincing being more outward?
I don't think he's weird enough for it. Like you need, I think
because he can do sinister, and he can do evil.
But that's the thing, the Joker's not just sinister. Like
I know that's what I mean. He might be limited.
Yeah, that's where I don't think he's crazy enough or weird enough. Like Donald Glover does some weird shit if you watch his videos, especially the stuff he did from before the internet and and then his couple of EPs. Like they're really kind of out there. Like 3005 and Telegraph Ave. Especially Telegraph Ave. If you watch that video from where it starts to where it ends, it goes real left, real quick. But he has that kind of weird headspace.
Dude, just watch the Teddy Perkins episode from season 2.
Okay, that was like terrifying. But
that's what I mean, though. But like that is in him.
Yeah. So I think those two are probably good for it. I think he'll be.
This isn't much more thinking out loud, but I think that's fair.
He'll be. I would cast him more as a Lex Luthor.
Ooh.
He has enough that he can be threatening without having, like you said in Widows, he can be threatening without having to be threatening. And
yeah, plus he's very good at first of all, he's just a hell of an actor. But he's very good at these subtle looks that probably wouldn't be afforded him caked in makeup. But, he gave little flares, little elements of evil in Widow specifically. But he's a very, nuanced actor as much as, whereas, and Lakeith Stanfield is too, but he has way more in him, I think, to your point. And Donald Glover is a great choice. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, like I said, if you go back and watch, it's a terrible-ass adaptation, but Lakeith Stanfield in Death Note on Netflix.
Yeah.
He played L, and L is this weird, creepy-ass dude, and really quirky. If L was evil, he'll pretty much be like a Joker.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, I can see that.
I did not enjoy that movie, but I thought he was really good.
Yeah, that's what the movie's terrible. So yeah.
Yeah.
Got any other questions?
We are 3 for 3, and legitimately, thank you everybody for the questions.
Word. Send in as many as you want.
Yeah.
I enjoy the questions. Actually, y'all start sending me questions. I'll interact more on Twitter because that's the only way I really get on Twitter.
There you go.
Or
what's your at?
At Black Market Jesus, BLK _ MKT _ Jesus. If you can't spell it, you're a heathen, just like me. So yeah, there you go.
That's fair.
Where's your?
I mean, you're the Joker on Twitter, right?
Nah.
Yeah, mine is at Inquisitive Dick, aka Benedict Turnsman.
Word.
I'm so proud of that name, by the way. I enjoy it so much. I truly, this was like whenever it was, 8 years ago or something. I was waiting to get my haircut, and randomly the name Benedict Turnsman came to mind. And so I specifically went on Twitter and registered to get that name. And granted, it's not even my at. It's not even at Benedict Turnsman. So that's how stupid I am. I just went with Inquisitive Dick because I'm like, I'm curious, and a bit of an asshole, probably. At least finicky, I guess. I'm blaming that on People Magazine, personally. But, so at Inquisitive Dick, aka Benedict Turnsman. I mean, do you have any recommendations before?
Let's see.
Before we depart this mortal coil that is the project?
I had some music actually I was going to recommend. Whoa, they got not crazy. But, fuck, what is that? Where's the new stuff I just got? Oh, Rick Ross.
Hello.
Port of Miami, Part 2. If you are into Florida rap, Miami Coke rap, which is, I love Dope Boy rap. This
is Miami
a hot
Coke
ass
rap an actual, like, official subgenre?
Yes.
I love it.
So,
I did not know that.
Yeah, Rick Ross, Pusha T, all that clip stuff, a lot of, like, trap rapper stuff.
Okay.
That's Coke Boy rap.
That's delightful.
Bass, he's on Dreamville, which is J. Cole's label. But he had a album that came out recently called Milky Way. And there's a track on there called I Think I Made It. Love that shit. Play it every goddamn morning. And the last album I had was, where was it? Black. Now it's spelled 6LACK, but his name is Black. But more kind of like a Frank Ocean almost type of sound for R&B.
Okay.
But the standout track on that one for me was a song called Disconnect. Love that fucking song. Like, it's a really just kind of deep and entrancing song. Oh, and one other one I had was the song is called California, but the group is Caballero and Jean Jas. They're some French rappers. Is Caballero and Jean Jas is JEANJASS. I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but when I tell you that shit fucking knocks in the whip every goddamn day. Like, yeah. I love that.
Okay.
It's one of those things where, y'all know, I'm born and raised from here. I'm from the South, Southern boy. I'm gonna knock in the car if I can. Their stuff actually made me think maybe I need to go ahead and go get some 12s to go put them to the back of the SUV fuck up the neighbors. But since we're moving, I don't know if I can do that. There's too many white neighbors. They might call the cops.
I mean, considering where you're about to move, do not do this.
Yeah, they call the cops, and the cops are like
I cannot recommend not doing that.
Yeah, so I might have to change that. But
like, get all that out of your system where you are now. When you move, do not stand out.
But yeah, California, yeah.
Okay. I recently, meaning last night, rewatched Defending Your Life, the Albert Brooks movie, co-starring Meryl Streep. That movie's incredible. I cannot recommend going back or visiting or revisiting this film. Also, if you're going to go down the Albert Brooks freight train, go watch Broadcast News. The movie, it's amazing. James L. Brooks directed. It's got Holly Hunter in it. It's very, 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 very good.
You had to go and look it up afterwards.
Yeah, I love that. I've watched the movie so many times.
All right. Well, I think that's it.
Thank you for listening. In the Joker part, I think a breakdown because I couldn't think of words, so that was not fun.
Whatever.
You know.
It don't matter. It's free. It'll be alright. Oh, also there will be a Spotify playlist that will be dropping on the Facebook page in about a week. I decided that I'm going to start adding rap songs along with my shoe posts, so that will be the shoe playlist.
No, we'll so you don't have to go to the Wanton Hellscape that is Facebook. We'll also post it via our accounts.
Yeah, you'll get it on Twitter, Instagram.
So follow if you don't, and if you do, thank you.
Word. We're out, people.
Anyway, love you.